Hey everyone, how's it going? So currently I'm in the Cove tunnel and we are testing our Navigate on Autopilot this morning here in Sydney. So I've got it on Mad Max mode, which refers to frequent lane changes. Now currently it's not allowing me to go on Navigate on Autopilot in the Cove tunnel. The Cove tunnel in Sydney becomes the M2, and we'll just see what happens here, whether it just becomes Navigate on Autopilot when the tunnel becomes the M2, which is not very far away. So probably in the next 5 minutes, the Cove tunnel will change to the M2. So here we go. We're just coming to the mouth of the tunnel now, at the exit. And it forks to the left to become Epping Road, which is a surface road. And then it becomes the M2 on the right. So let's just see what the computer does. Here we go. It changed over to Navigate on Autopilot, which is pretty cool. Let's see which lane it wants to take. So currently 3 lanes and the road here forks. So if it doesn't take the correct lane, I'm going to take over and force it to go right. So far so good. Okay, good. So it's keeping to lane, and you see how the lines became unbroken from that point. So very cool there. So it becomes 100 kilometers an hour very shortly. And let me just see whether it recognizes that. There we go, 100. I'm going to push that button there. Yeah, it doesn't seem to work today. Oh, there we go. 105. So, you know what? I've got it on offset by 5 kilometers an hour. That's why it seems to want to go 5 over. So what I can do there is actually go here and go to Autopilot. And I like to keep it the speed limit. So I'm actually going to push this down to 0. There we go. So there's no tolerance as to keep to speed limit. All right, so hands on the wheel in New South Wales, as is the requirements here for Autopilot or any sort of driving for that matter. And my disclaimer, as always with all these NOA videos, is that Autopilot and Navigate on Autopilot is very much beta. So guys, if you're going to try this, please have your wits about you and keep attention at all times on the road. Okay, so it's going to change lanes for me. Hands on the wheel, little nudge, and there we go. Away it goes. That was a pretty good lane change. No cars behind me there. So again, it's on Mad Max mode, which means that it's not referring to how aggressive the lane changes, it's referring to how frequent the lane changes are. So it wants to try to get there as quick as possible, and there's less tolerance for slower vehicles on the road. So I'm currently in the right lane, yes, but I'm going at the speed limit, and let's just see whether once it passes this car on my left, it will go back into the middle lane. So let's see what happens. It wants to do a lot of right-hand lane hugging. So I'm not too happy with that. What I'm going to do is going to initiate one for myself. Here we go. Because I don't like right lane hugging if possible. I'm just going to follow this car ahead of me here. And it seems to be happy in the middle lane for now. Just out of interest, I want to see what happens if I try to go in the left lane. I received a few comments in my last video about middle lane hugging. So, yeah, a bit of controversy there. I know the rules in New South Wales say to keep it left if possible. But see, if I keep left now, I'm actually going to be quicker than this car on my right. And I don't like to undertake. I think it's not a good practice. So what I'm going to do is going to lane change back to the middle lane. I think undertaking is actually more dangerous than trying to keep in the left lane, because I'm actually going at the speed limit here. Alright, so I'm actually going at 95 kilometers an hour, which is just under the speed limit. If I were to go in the left lane, I'm going to be faster than this car, which is not great. I think understeering is not good, like I said. So here we are in the Cove. Sorry, we are on the M2 currently, which is one of the big motorways here in Sydney. And on Mad Max mode, just giving a bit of a nudge, and the car wants to overtake. And the car ahead of me as well. Oop, that's interesting. So it just broke a little bit, because the car ahead of me was also overtaking, but it was a bit jerky, so it would be nice if that just slowed down a little bit. So here we are in the right lane. That car on with the trailer has now moved over to the left, and now this car is now going in the right lane, my car. There's no car behind me, so I'm happy to go on the right lane for now. And I think because this car on my left here in the middle lane is a bit slower than me, so this car will actually stay in this right lane until it overtakes, which I don't mind. It should go overtaking it pretty soon. again, I don't want to break the speed limit, so I'm going at exactly 100 kilometers an hour, or according to my speedometer anyway. So go on the M2. I'm not going to go all the way on the M2 because it's a long road. It goes all the way from Artarmon, probably no, closer to North Ryde, all the way to about Windsor, about Seven Hills. Yeah, Seven Hills. Oh, navigate on autopilot is going to be unavailable in 75 meters. Alright, so it's actually disengaged. So autopilot is now gone on the M2. Okay. Now see that car, this car overtook the car behind me, probably with not as much room as I would have liked personally. I would have kept going and then overtook a bit later on. Alright, so there we go. Autopilot has disengaged. Oh, now it's back on. Okay, so that was interesting. So in the Epping Tunnel, it disengaged. And that's consistent with the Lane Cove Tunnel. It disengaged as well. So before I started this journey, I was wondering whether it would perform well in the tunnel. Now I know there probably is in the programming to not use navigate on autopilot in tunnels just yet. And I have noticed issues just with even just on navigating that it doesn't like tunnels because it confuses itself with surface roads, especially if they run in parallel. So probably a safety issue for now not to have navigate on autopilot in tunnels. So that's consistent. Lane Cove Tunnel didn't work, and also with the Epping Tunnel it disengaged itself, but then re-engaged itself as soon as it left the tunnel. Okay, so this will be a good test. I'm about to leave the M2. We're actually coming up very close to the exit. In fact, in the next kilometre or so, it's going to initiate a lane change to get into the left lane to exit. We're just about to pass that car, and it should lane change itself. There we go. There's my nudge there. Off you go. Thank you very much. The exit is on my left. This is a right-hand drive vehicle. So we're driving on the left side of the road, and exits on the motorway are on the left side in Australia. Guys, check out also CDV's video where Sally explained why cars on navigate on autopilot are missing exits here in Australia. It's to do with the lane configurations we have here in Australia. It seems like a plausible explanation, and thank you, Sally, for explaining that to us. So navigate on autopilot is ending. But here we go, we're done. So there we are, guys. That is navigate on autopilot on the M2. At least for a short distance anyway. Alright guys, so thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that video. I'm going to disengage autopilot now and just drive on the surface roads for now. Thanks guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. And a lot more navigate on autopilot videos to come in coming months to weeks. Stay safe on the roads. And as always, happy charging.